Welcome, everybody, to another resounding, official, incredible edition of Let's Take 5, where we do the wrap-up for Jimmy Stewart. My name is Ray Martindale.
I'm Austin Luger.
And I think all those adjectives made sense. Yeah. Okay, so we're in the Let's Take 5 wrap-up episode, where we talk about Jimmy Stewart. That's the 5 that we covered this week. This is the podcast where we look at one of the greats of cinema history. We take 5 of their films, we sort of break them down and quasi-review them. And the Jimmy Stewart 5 was The Philadelphia Story, It's a Wonderful Life, Winchester 73, Harvey, and then we wrapped up on the Alfred Hitchcock Total Bomb.
Masterpiece.
Vertigo! Anyway, so let's talk about Jimmy Stewart. So, in the wrap-up episodes, we usually go a little less casual. We're just going to kind of be spitballing here for about 20 minutes or so.
We're a little less casual?
What'd I say?
You're a little less casual.
What'd I say? A little less casual.
We're a little more casual.
Wait, we're more casual.
Yeah.
I think we're less than casual. We're casual.
There's beneath that.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's what I'm saying.
This is indecent behavior.
We're like leisure. But anyway, no. So, okay. So this gives us an opportunity to talk about Jimmy Stewart, all these films in context, but also talk about maybe some stuff that we didn't cover. Which
He has so many.
He has so many. The biggest film, or at the very least the biggest performance of his that we didn't cover, I think, has got to be Mr. Smith Goes to Washington.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's the biggest omission to the list. Why do you say absolutely?
You know,
Because you're right.
I was going to say the same thing, because there's many different directions you can go. It's so iconic, and it's also so representative of when people get frustrated with government. They kind of turn to two things as the idealistic hope. It's Mr. Smith Goes to Washington and The West Wing. Yeah. Like, that's how we want it to be. We want it to be about hope and ideals and dreams and not politics, basically. Mm-hmm. And he embodies that in a very, very earnest way, because he is playing someone who is not as complicated as It's a Wonderful Life character. Mm-hmm. It's very simplistic to great effect of what he's doing.
Yeah, it's because sort of Capra at its finest in the Capra kind of way.
Sure.
I think It's a Wonderful Life's a better movie, but Capra just like I feel like Mr. Smith Goes to Washington is almost more of what Capra wanted to create. It's a movie that you do. I mean, there's definite pathos that exists with Mr. Smith and how he is literally fighting for a lost cause, to quote the film. Mm-hmm. But there is a lot of feel goodery in it, and it isn't complicated. It's not complicated. There's a really weird scene where some dude runs a little child off the road.
I forgot that.
It seems epically violent for the type of film that it is. But yeah, that's the big one. The other big one, for me at least, would probably be Rear Window.
Sure.
But that's more on the merits of how great the film is than how great Jimmy Stewart is. And that doesn't say Jimmy Stewart isn't great in it, because he is. But that's Hitchcock movie first, I think.
I think so, too.
Yeah. So those would be the big ones. What's something else you're thinking of?
You know, I'm thinking of a number of films. I was trying to think of, like, what's the youngest I've seen him, what's the oldest I've seen him. Mm-hmm. The youngest I've seen him in he is in the very first Thin Man sequel.
Yeah.
And that was very fun to watch, because I didn't know he was going to be in it. I'm just watching it because I like the Thin Man movies. Mm-hmm. And go, wow, that guy's going to be really famous soon. I wonder if he did it. He did it. Sure enough. And I see that in so many things, like old Great British mystery shows. Like, people who are on the cusp of being really famous, they always did it.
Yeah. Well, it's like, that's exactly how I felt when I saw Tony Curtis in Winchester 73.
That guy did it.
I was like, that guy may be famous someday. Maybe he'll have another famous family member. Who knows?
Who knows? No way to know.
But I had a feeling that would be it.
I think the oldest I've seen him in is another sequel, which is also, but this is way worse. You know those old airport movies? It's what Airplane's parroting. No. He's in the third one, which has like the airplane underwater.
What?
Yeah, so it's like it's the old like disaster movies, like back from Silent Adventure and all that kind of stuff. These 4 films called Airport. And there was like really big name celebrities as like the ensemble for these disaster films. And he's like so old, and like he's only in a few scenes, like sitting in his chair as like the billionaire who owns the plane or whatever. Mm-hmm. It was a bummer to see him that old, actually.
A bummer?
Yeah, it was late 70s.
Man who shot Liberty Valance.
Amazing movie.
Yeah, that would be another one. And I know that Naked Spur was something we were
Naked
fighting
Spur,
together.
that was another Anthony Mann Western. I think it's very good. Industrial Roads Again, that was kind of an earlier Western he did. He's in a Best Picture winner. You Can't Take It With You. One of Capra's wins, which is a very charming, another based off a play. Bit more ensemble in that one. He's still kind of like the main family member trying to help them out before they lose their home, kind of thing. Charming.
Man, it sounds like another character he played.
All of them.
Yeah, well, it's just George Bailey literally helping people out by helping them keep their homes. Anyway, he's...
the Shop Around the Corner is super charming.
I've never seen that one.
That one is the original version of You've Got Mail.
Okay. Oh.
So, but they actually work in the same
Is it better
building.
than You Got Mail?
They both have their merits. Just admitting that I do like You've Got Mail.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't going to let you get away from that. I thought that was the sequel to Sleepless in Seattle.
No, those are just similar films.
Oh, okay.
that Nora Ephron made.
Oh, man.
Tom Hanks. No, Shop Around the Corner, he's kind of not entirely Mr. Darcy-like, but he's kind of a grumpy guy, but when he's doing this pen pal with this girl, he's actually super romantic and shows his vulnerable side. Little does he know that's actually his co-worker that he crumbles with all the time. And it's a charming little movie.
Oh, well, we've all been there.
All been there.
Yeah. Just for the record, I knew that You've Got Mail is not the sequel to Sleepless in Seattle. That was a joke.
I bought it.
I just
bought
wanted,
a hook, line, and
just
sinker.
wanted to be clear. I just want everyone to know that. So, yeah, I mean, of the, what does they say, old-timey, because, on the cusp of sort of that golden age, silver age, he sort of emerges, and he is a bona fide movie star, one of the absolute greats. He's very interesting to watch in general, and I mentioned this on, I think, maybe the Harvey. I may have mentioned it in Vertigo. I'm not sure if I did. But how everyone's doing that mid-Atlantic faux, like, half-British accent that everyone does in those early black and whites and sometimes in the 60s. One guy who's just ridiculously guilty of it, and I forgot the actor's name, and you're going to probably remind me, is Kim Novak's husband in Vertigo.
That guy.
Yeah, okay. That guy's doing some weird thing with his voice. Again, everyone's got to talk like this. Mm-hmm. Jimmy Stewart's is like really refreshing just in his own right because he's automatically gilded differently. He's pops because he's not like them.
Yeah.
And he never comes off like them. Even next to Cary Grant in a Philadelphia story, Cary Grant's got some of it too. Cary Grant's also a movie star too, but Jimmy just has something that they don't, which is, I think, part of why he probably stood out in that film so much and won Best Picture for it, or Best Actor for it, when the part he's playing is not the lead of that film.
No,
not even the lead male in that film, and he just steals it by being Jimmy.
Because I think that allows him to go big and small depending on the role, very effectively.
Yeah.
I just keep looking at more of his films, and it's not even a very good film, but he's in The Spirit of St. Louis as he's Lindbergh going across. Mm-hmm. And
I've seen that movie.
He has to do a lot of acting where he's just him in a very, very small airplane. Mm-hmm. It's still not the most exciting movie of all time, but he makes it pretty interesting.
Yeah,
and he can do that. I mean, you can't play big in a craft that small.
Yeah, and it was hinted at earlier how Jimmy sort of evolved, not just as one does, but he has two distinctly sort of different parts in his career. Like, we have World War II Jimmy, pre and post Jimmy, and they are different. They definitely are different people. He goes to darker places that he doesn't necessarily go to before that. And, I mean, it shows. Again, in World War II, Jimmy Stewart was a bomber and a bomber pilot and, fought and was highly ranked. I believe got to rank of colonel. He was up there. I'm not sure exactly. It was close to it, but I do know, as actors in Hollywood, the highest rank that anyone's ever received that was an actor other than Ronald Reagan, it was, of course, the President of the United States. Mm-hmm. So that's really interesting. And then sort of and Lieutenant Dan passing it on, his son was killed in Vietnam. I do know that
we mentioned that during the Western.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I was about to say I don't know if it was his adopted son. That matters. But I think because he had more than one child. But yeah, there was one of his children was killed in Vietnam. That I do know.
He had a really powerful performance. I need to rewatch it again in Anatomy of a Murder. It's kind of what he's talked about. It's like one of the great courtroom dramas he did kind of later in his career. Because obviously not all of his post-World War II careers are like complete bummers. Harvey is post-World War II. But Man Shot Liberty Valance, Vertigo, Anatomy of a Murder, Naked Spur.
Rear Window.
Rear Window,
Winchester 73.
But he did, like, Rope is a really dark Hitchcock film.
Rope too. Yeah, that's true.
But The Man Who Knew Too Much, that Hitchcock film, right? Yeah. That one's more charming. That one's very much like a wrong man and family.
Well, I mean, that's more fun. You got to find differences, but I mean, there's sort of a fierceness and edginess that he has post World War II.
Absolutely.
Even and we talked about this a little bit on the Winchester 73 podcast. Was that his performance? I mean, George Bailey. I mean, we look at It's a Wonderful Life as a very happy film, a cheery film, something we all gather around and feel good about ourselves. George Bailey's kind of a dark character.
Oh, sure.
I mean, he's a guy that has to go to a lot of dark places, and it's really difficult. I mean, for that time period too, and this being post World War II for Jimmy, it's layered and nuanced in a way that isn't as cookie cuttery as people I think kind of make it out to be. I mean, George Bailey is a guy who is going to kill himself if he's not rescued. This is a man that has a full family waiting for him at home. I mean, he's facing prison time, and then all the little antidotes that happen throughout his life that stop him from doing what he wants to do. He goes some pretty dark places in that film, and it's uncomfortable, particularly in that scene I know we talked about on It's a Wonderful Life podcast, but when he goes home and sees his family, and it's like, why do we have to have all these stupid kids for? It's like, geez, it's not something we were probably used to at that point from him.
Well, and it's interesting because even though he has his intensity in his roles, there is this ability just to kind of trust him. Like, if you see on TV that, there's this acclaimed Dan DeLuise movie I haven't seen yet, you're going to get into like, okay, this is going to be a lot. Mm-hmm. But like, it's a Jimmy Stewart movie I haven't seen yet. I bet this will be good, like, regardless. And even like no matter where it is on the scale of like what he's doing, like, it's Jimmy Stewart. Even though like he's like, I remember I watched one of his films years ago, just watching TCM. It was a movie called Bell, Book and Candle, where Kim Novak plays a witch who wants to have Jimmy Stewart fall in love with her.
We've all been there.
Yeah, and it's like Jimmy Stewart in a witch comedy. Yeah, I'm in. Like, why would I not watch this? It's not very good. Jack Lemmon's in it too. But it's just like Jimmy Stewart. He will always be interesting, and you can just like watch Jimmy's movies. I think anytime, and I think that's to really. It shows the range he has, and it shows the strong ability he had in all genres.
Yeah,
very few can like pull off that many genres.
Well, the witch comedy genre, that's, the cupboard's, stocked full on that. So for Jimmy to...
Mary Poppins, Ben Up and Broomsticks, the new movie called The Sex Witch.
the Witches.
The Witches,
Perfect film.
Practical Magic.
But yeah,
The Craft. No. Is that funny? No, it's not.
I don't remember. I have seen it. You don't like Practical Magic, man?
No.
It's got Academy Award winner Sandra Bullock as the lead.
Crap, she is one now.
She does.
And Nicole Kidman, she won too, right?
That's right, yeah. Nicole Kidman.
Look at all the Oscars they hadn't won yet.
What did she win for? Cold Mountain?
The Hours.
The Hours. Why was I thinking Cold Mountain?
She's in it.
Yeah, but was that...
But Renee Zellweger won for the Cold Mountain.
I feel like Cold Mountain's always the movie that was the movie that year that everyone thought was going to like really be big, and then didn't do big.
I saw it, and I just can't remember it.
Like Australia?
Australia's terrible.
Yeah, but like I feel like it was like, there's this movie coming out called Australia.
There's an Oscar, like every year when the Oscars kind of start, I kind of hope that like, I'm watching, like, okay, I'm going to watch all the nominees, but I hope that gets nothing, because I don't want to watch it. Right now, I don't want to see Sully. Yeah. So I'm really hoping that doesn't get nomination, because I don't want to see Sully. But if it does, I'm gonna go watch Sully. But
yeah,
and like it happens every once in a while. J. Edgar, I got very lucky. Nothing. I didn't want to see J. Edgar.
Lee Daniels to Butler.
Yeah, I felt good about that one too.
Yeah.
Oh, what was the one? Amelia. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hilary Swank is Amelia Earhart. It's like, oh, I don't want to do this one either.
Man, you were lucking out.
Yeah, I was like...
You were ducking and weaving, man.
That doesn't always happen, though.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do have to go see Extreme Loud and very close. Or
Extremely Loud, incredibly close.
Oh, it's way too close.
Is that a worse title than Cinderella Man?
Yeah.
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 Those are bad titles.
They're not good titles.
So we were talking about Jimmy Stewart.
Obviously.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't know if much else need be said here. I mean, I know that, you know.
Apparently, I forgot this. I can't remember seeing this film. He was in American Tail. His last film. His last credit was being a voice in
Yeah, actually,
that mouse movie.
I think I do remember that. That actually, if that's true,
Yeah.
then that is the... Now, is American Tail Fievel Goes West? Or
It is
American
Fievel Goes West.
That's right, yes.
He is Wiley.
Yes, I actually do remember that.
It's 91.
I do remember that. That's very interesting. So I think he died in 97.
Okay.
So I do remember that, actually. Because so that was the first Jimmy Stewart performance I was actually exposed to.
That's what you saw?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's animated, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, Wiley, I believe, is the villain.
Is he?
He may or may not be. He might be the sheriff of the town. I kind of remember
Well,
it in
I'm looking at
feelings.
cast only, and I'm seeing John Cleese, and I'd be shocked if he's not the villain.
Yeah. He may not be the villain, but I do. I remember the movie in pictures.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like because I haven't seen it since I was like 4, but I did like it a lot. I actually liked it. I preferred it to Fievel, the first
first
movie. Yeah. So
Interesting.
now we got that established.
Yeah.
That's a weird credit. That's like Robin Williams as the Bat in Fern Gully.
It's also, but it's Paul Newman's last performance is Cars.
Yeah,
It's like, oh, that's... Okay.
Marlon Brando's last performance was voicing Vito Corleone in the Godfather video game. So
Was that clips or was that new recording?
there's no recording.
That's sad. Well, isn't Orson Welles Transformers?
Yeah, but people love that.
Do they?
Yeah, people love that performance.
Okay.
Unicron or whatever.
I haven't seen it.
I think that, yeah, I'd be careful of this territory you're stepping in here.
I'm saying
to be honest.
animation kills the best actors, apparently.
Yeah, well, no, okay, yeah, no, that's probably true, but
That's probably true.
yeah, that's probably true.
On that note...
Yeah, I was right about to say that.
It is time to announce our next 5.
Yeah, I forgot about that tradition where we introduce the next 5.
Yeah. That's why they're here.
How could I forget about that? Well, it's your 5s.
I know. So starting in 2 days, we're going to do our least traditional 5. I'm saying this counts because instead of doing a specific person, we are doing a brain trust. There are a group of filmmakers who have worked together for a very long time since their first film together, and they kind of keep taking turns with the reins, and they all work for a company called Pixar. So we are going to do Pixar's 5. Which I'm very excited about. I'm a very big Pixar fan, and the 5 we're going to do are Toy Story, The Incredibles, Wall-E, Up, and Inside Out. So in 2 days, we are going to cover one of the most important animated films in film history, Toy Story.
And in doing so, one of the more important films in film history.
Yeah,
everything changed.
Yeah.
Everything changed once that came out. So.
Yeah. So I'm really excited about that. And that will be... So I don't just pick random foreign directors, guys.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do the biggest American films ever made.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to re-seeing a few of those films.
Mm-hmm.
I am the spoiler here. I'm a big fan of Inside Out. That's the most recent one on the list. So I don't know why I'm talking about that one specifically, but I probably won't have to rewatch that one. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to talking about Toy Story. There's 2 films on this list I am not looking forward to rewatching, but I'll do it anyway for you, my man.
Thanks, man. That wraps up our wrap-up. You know where you can find us. Artimole.com. They're on podcasts there. They're good. Leave a comment. Leave an iTunes review. That's always helpful. Email us, let's take 5 at theartimole.com. Follow us on Twitter. Eric has a video game YouTube channel. That's pretty cool. What's that called?
Yeah, it's called Constant Diversion. You can go there if you want to go.
Do it.
Most of you have probably gone there by now.
They better have.
I have a sneaky
Subscribe.
suspicion.
Yeah.
We're 250 subscribers. That's
That way
good.
they'll be the first to know when the Last of Us video is out.
It may be out by the time. No.
Nope.
No.
Probably
way.
not.
Yeah, no, it's not. I'll save that.
That's okay.
That's going to land in Pixar land. I have a feeling.
I think so. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. This was a very fun 5. Once again, it went by too quickly, and now I just want to keep watching more Jimmy Stewart movies.
Well,
But I got Pixar. So
Yeah, Pixar. We'll catch you later.
To infinity and beyond.
Hey.
What?
Beep, beep.
And I thank the Board of Governors of the Academy for this gracious and most appreciated honor. And I'm also grateful to my fellow actors and actresses for their help and their friendship through the years. I'm grateful to producers and writers and props and grips and makeup and wardrobe and lighting and cinematographers, all of them. Well, everybody who was there with me and who helped me to get along so well between action and cut. A part of this Oscar belongs to them, a good part of it. And I'd also, especially, am I grateful to Frank Capra. Frank Capra and all of the directors who have so generously and brilliantly guided me safely through the no man's land of my own good intentions to more meaningful performances for which they share abundant credit in my heart. And finally, the audience, all you wonderful folks out there. Thank you for being so kind to me over the years. You've given me a wonderful life. God bless you.